Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Stand up for your country. So the blame game is on, and I'm playing the blame game here. I am. Progressives in America are responsible for a lot of terrible things, and the society is paying an awful price. Ukraine is one example. So you probably know in your life very, very liberal people. There's a difference between progressives who want to dismantle a country and liberals who just see political things from a different point of view than conservatives. There's a difference there. But the progressives want to tear it all down. And one of the things they want to do is impose alternative energy because they believe global warming is going to kill us all. And I don't know, from anywhere from 3 years to 10 years or something. So those people have taken over the Democratic Party, those climate warriors, I call them. And they pushed President Biden and the Congress to hurt American fossil fuels. And they've succeeded. That has strengthened Putin because he was able to sell more oil and natural gas and coal because the United States cut back on its harvesting of those things. So Putin became wealthier and more powerful. And everybody knows this. It's not, you can't dissent from that. That is what happened. So the talking points memo is what's going to happen to the climate change warriors. So first of all, they're set back 10 years. So about 80% of Americans now go, we got to harvest more fossil fuel. There's only 20%, and they're just the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez loon crew, okay? So even liberal people, even Nancy Pelosi goes, we got to get more fuel, all right? But they won't take credit for strengthening Putin and weakening America. They won't cop to that. And it's really interesting. So MSNBC is the mouthpiece for progressive America. Everybody knows that. I mean, CNN is a left-wing network, but MSNBC is beyond that. So one of the people that is on MSNBC is a woman named Katie Tur, T-U-R. So here's what she said yesterday. Go.
Something that Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut brought up today was this just exposes how insane it is that we rely on energy from authoritarian leaders, and we are not self-reliant on our own energy. A lot of talk about why we don't go green.
Now, that's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. First of all, we rely on oil from Putin, which we really don't. It's 3 to 7%. We don't buy all that much, but we rely on OPEC and other things to fill in what Biden has crushed, Ms. Tur, okay? And you are part of that whole crew. So on February 10th, 2019, here's what Katie Tur said.
The UN said we have 12 years before complete disaster. You talked to the representative of the Marshall Islands, and he's calling it what could amount to genocide if we allow things to go as they are. The reports aren't just, hey, it's going to get bad. The reports are people will die.
Ooh. And that's what they do over there. All of them do it. Talking, of course, about global warming, climate change. We're all going to die. Marshall Islands. Oh, don't buy a condo there. Okay, so this woman has the gall now, the gall to quote Chris Murphy, a far left senator from Connecticut, saying, well, why are we buying oil from authoritarians? Well, because we stopped oil harvesting in Alaska. Did you guys know that if the United States government would stop the nonsense and allow oil companies to drill in the so-called ANWR district, that just one state, Alaska, could provide all the oil the United States would need in any given year with stuff left over to sell abroad? Did you know that? And it's not long. It has nothing to do with the Keystone Pipeline, because that's energy we would buy from Canada. This is the United States. But because of Katie Tur and MSNBC, and they're just stupid. They're not just misled or their opinion is wrong. They're just dumb. All right, because everyone knows no one lives in the Anwar. Are you afraid of spooking the polar bears and the caribou? They like the pipeline. It's warm around the pipeline. They go there so they don't have to buy a coat. So when I hear this just dumb, stupid stuff, I used to get really angry, and now I just feel sorry for my country. Not for them, but my country. So Katie Tur's, well, why don't we go green? Yeah, I mean, she's not talking St. Patrick's Day. We don't go green because right now, wind makes up 9% of our hydroelectric power, solar 3%. In fact, renewable energy is 20% of all of the United States energy needs. And that's maximum development. That's pedal to the metal. Subsidies from the government all day long. It's only 20%. So the 80% has to come from fossil fuels and nuclear. But the Greens don't like nuclear. Even though nuclear is clean, they think there's going to be another 3 Mile Island. No, we don't have that. Okay, so all of this affects each one of us. And by the way, there are 2 million electric vehicles on the road now. 1% of the 250 million cars and trucks on American roads. And I like electric cars. I like them. But I'm not going to buy one until the technology is more advanced and the price comes down a bit. All right? So that I don't have to recharge every 300 miles or 250 miles. When you get up to 700 miles, yeah, all right, I'll do it. And I hope that they will. Electric cars are good, but they're way too expensive, and you got to charge them, and you got to be like a technical mastermind here. A lot of my friends have them, but all those guys know what they're doing. All right, so that's the talking points memo, how absurd this whole green thing is now. They're all running for cover. They all know it's their fault that Putin was empowered. And Biden is leading that charge. But Biden's taking another tack now. He's denying everything. Not my fault. All right, so yesterday, he's at the White House. He says this. Go.
First, it's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production. That's simply not true. Even amid the pandemic, companies in the United States pumped more oil during my first year in office than they did during my predecessor's first year.
So what? That's so absurd. Trump takes over from Obama. Obama's a green guy, and it takes a year to ramp up fossil fuel production in the USA. But Biden didn't tell anybody, oh, no, I'm pumping more now in my first year than Trump did. Because Trump left you with a huge apparatus in order to harvest fossil fuel. So I wrote the message of the day about this. Now, you don't have to be a premium member to go to BillO'Reilly.com and read the message of the day every morning. I hope you will. It will enhance your life. It will make you smarter. This is what I said this morning. Quote, once again, President Biden and his Minister of Propaganda, Jen Psaki, are misleading the American people, this time about oil production. Mr. Biden and Ms. Psaki both say it is Putin who is most responsible for the rise in gas prices. The pair also put forth that the Biden administration is harvesting more oil than the Trump crew. This sleight of hand is a comparison between the first year of both administrations. But that doesn't matter because Trump grew oil production while Biden is shrinking it. Here are the facts. When Donald Trump left office, the average price for a gallon of gas was about $2.50. After 13 months of Biden, the price had risen more than $1. And that was well before Putin's Ukraine intrusion. Under Trump in 2020, the U.S. produced 18.4 million barrels of oil a day, 18.4. During Biden's first year, the number was down to 16.6. That's 2 million barrels a day produced less under Biden. 2 million barrels a day less, 750 million barrels a year less under Biden than Trump. That's colossal. Yet that man has the gall to go out there and say what he said. And why do you think he said it? He knows he can get away with it. All right, so last night, did ABC, CBS, and NBC Nightly News mention it? No, they did not. Did MSNBC or CNN? No, they did not. Didn't mention it. I didn't see analysis like I gave you on Fox, but I think they mentioned it. I think on Fox Business, David Asman mentioned it. Okay, so Biden knows he can get away with anything. And right now, gallon of gas is $4.25. When Trump left office, $2.50. And it's going to $5.50 by the 4th of July. So this dooms President Biden. He will not run again. And the Democratic Party in November. It's mid-March. Okay, president's schedule, he didn't do anything today. I'm sure he was yapping about oil somewhere. So he had some kind of call about competitiveness. I don't know. It's all BS. As you may know, inflation is out of control thanks to the policies of this administration. Retirement accounts are especially vulnerable now. When inflation goes up, your savings goes down. Protect your hard-earned wealth against inflation. Please call the people I trust at American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Takes just a short phone call, and they will deliver physical gold and silver right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. Plus, tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. So please don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Ukraine latest. Okay, so everybody's talking about this Poland jet thing. And Kamala Harris, vice president's in Poland right now. Nobody knows what she's doing there. They didn't put out a schedule. We don't know what she's doing. But Poland said to the U.S. Pentagon, we'll give you MiGs, all right, jet fighters. Poland will give them to you, America. But you have to take them to Ramstein Air Force Base, and then you can use them to help Ukraine. And the Pentagon goes, no. And the Pentagon was right. Because if you put U.S. aircraft over Ukraine, that can provoke a shooting war. Do you want a shooting war? Do you want World War III and all of that? And also, the United States cannot allow Putin and the Russians to say, oh, look, America's provoking the war. We're just defending our pilots over Ukraine. So the Pentagon was right to say, no, we're not going to do that now. It's too risky. They are correct. All right, so I hope everybody knows that. Stats. This is from the UN. That's where we take our stats now, not from the press. The press does not know. Ukrainian civilian casualties, 1,424. Killed, 516 civilians killed, including 37 children. Injured, 900 injured, including 50 children. Again, all civilians. So Putin wears a cross, a Christian cross, on a chain around his neck. And he's responsible for every one of these deaths and injuries. It's just, if there's a hell, he'll be down there with Joe Stalin and Mao and Hitler. You know, that's who Putin is. He doesn't believe in anything. All right, I wish I had an update on Kamala Harris. I'm very interested in what she's doing over there in Europe, but I have no update. Every morning I go to dailychatter.com. Every morning, early. All right. They are our international news partner. Because of the corruption of the corporate media, the future for people interested in honest reporting and analysis is with me and agencies like me, private agencies, and dailychatter.com is one of those agencies. So they have every morning a rundown of the important stories abroad, and they lead with Ukraine. And they give me very, very good information. And they source all their information. So I'm just telling you that because there are a lot of BillO'Reilly.com viewers, WABC radio listeners, the First TV viewers who are very intelligent and who want accurate, honest news. So that's our international partner, Daily Chatter, one word, .com. UN issued a memo according to the Irish Times, which got a copy of the memorandum, ordering communication staffers at the United Nations not to use the words war or invasion to describe Russia's attack on Ukraine. This is the UN. Instead, they are to use the word conflict or military offensive. All right. You know, shows you how PC the UN is. They're afraid of Putin. All right. Now, I hate to deliver bad news. I really do. I'd much rather tell you that, as I did with COVID, I almost pinpointed the day that it would subside. I was very, very fortunate to be right then. But here's some more bad news. Food prices are going to rise in conjunction with oil prices. So already we're seeing it. 21% increase in food, says the United Nations, around the world from year to year. And the United States, more than that. Okay, dairy prices, for example, have increased 6.5%. And you know why? Because transportation into your local grocery store and restaurant, the costs have almost doubled. So they're going to charge more for what they're delivering. So my advice to you is if you have a big freezer, stock up now. You're going to pay more than you did last year, but it's come fall, this is going to be really horrendous. And again, this seals the doom of the Biden administration, the progressive movement, and the Democratic Party. It might be the biggest rout, political rout, in the midterms this year in American history. Could be. Hawaii comes the last state to lift the mask mandate. Now, Hawaii is very far left, and as you know, the far left people love the masks. Love them. I don't know exactly why. They love them. So Hawaii is going to remove the mask mandate where you can't go inside anywhere in Hawaii unless you have a mask on. And that is on March 25th. So you guys who love the mask over in Oahu and Kauai and Maui, Molokai, Lanai, and the Big Island, you got a couple of weeks. All right, you got a couple of weeks. You can do those masks. U.S. politics. So I have reported this for about 6 months that Hillary Clinton wants to run for president again because she knows Biden is doomed. Everybody in the Democratic Party knows he's doomed. Okay? The only people who don't know it are Jill and Joe. That's the only people who don't know. So Hillary pops up on MSNBC, of course, and here's how it went.
Are you open to running for president again? Oh,
No.
come on. Just
No.
long runway.
No, but I'm well, no, but I am certainly going to be active in supporting women running for office and other candidates who I think should be reelected or elected, both women and men.
So no, I'm not. Then why are you raising all that money? Doesn't her cackle remind you of Margaret Hamilton? Quick, you know who Margaret Hamilton is? Wicked Witch of the West, Wizard of Oz. One of the great characters of all time. Doesn't her cackle? Oh my. Every time she cackled, it wasn't funny. Of course it wasn't funny. Why are you cackling? And then she goes, no. Unbelievable. All right, January 6th, first defendant found guilty, Guy Reffitt, 49 years old, Wiley, Texas, charged with bringing a gun to the Capitol. He did not go inside because he was pepper sprayed in the face and retreated, but he was found guilty by a jury. He's going to be sentenced June 8th. Could get 20 years. I don't think he's going to get 20 years, but he's going to do prison time. So you guys out there thinking about disrupting the U.S. government, particularly if you have a gun, you can pay a price. Attention savvy investors looking for predictable monthly cash flow. How about double-digit targeted bonus returns? If you want the safety and security of a real estate investment, but without the hassles of being a landlord, you've probably heard of NRIA. NRIA is an industry-leading real estate development firm in its 15th year. They develop in strategically located, lower-risk, high-demand neighborhoods that are based on supply-demand imbalance. They are a great fit for safety-oriented investors who want cash flow and diversification in carefully chosen real estate. So you can learn more about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund at nria.net. Or you can call 800-800-1414. That's easy. 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
All right, final thought of the day is Holly the Terror Dog. Put her on up there. On radio, you can't see her. She's very cute. So 6 years old, Corgi, full bred. When I got Holly, I was stunned that she sheds an enormous amount, all right? But she's a sweet dog, a nice dog. And Holly's job, her only job, is to protect the house. Now, Corgis have this deep, deep bark, so even though they're little, close to the ground, they sound like they're a giant German shepherd that would rip your leg off when they bark. But here's the problem. In the beginning, in the first few years, Holly would bark and run down to the door and all of that and scare the bad people. Now, Holly's lazy. She sleeps up on the second floor and she barks from there. She doesn't even run down the stairs. What good is that? So Holly's barking from afar. And I'm going, Holly, this is your only job to protect the house. When there's somebody at the door, run down. But it doesn't really matter because if somebody was trying to break in, all they'd have to do was pet Holly's neck, and then Holly would be their friend, even if they had an AK. So it doesn't really matter. What matters is a big bark that might discourage people from bringing the AK in to the O'Reilly home. Holly, you got to get downstairs. Thank you for watching and listening to us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Supply chain issues have been a catalyst in bringing high-tech manufacturing back to the USA. My tech expert and founder of Brownstone Research calls it the Great Recalibration, and he discusses it in his newsletter, Near Future Report. For the past 35 years, he has helped his subscribers safely navigate volatile times, and he also answers your most pressing questions, like how to protect your money from inflation. What are the implications of a new digital currency and the Great Reset? What will the Fed do with interest rates? And what is expected from the stock market in 2022? Brownstone Research has been at the forefront of nearly every major market move for the past 35 years. Let Jeff Brown help you by signing up for his newsletter today at a 75% discount. It's a 12-month subscription for only $49. Please go to jeffbrowntech.com. jeffbrowntech.com. jeffbrowntech.com.
Bill O'Reilly is back on TV and only on The First. No Spin News, every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on The First.